Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I'll show you how to crochet this super easy 8 granny square vest. I hope you will enjoy this video, and if you do, don't forget to hit subscribe, like this video, and let's get into it. And to make this you will need any yarn, but basically I have Aran weight and I will be using about 200 grams, so each ball of this is 50 grams each, and I'm using Drops Air mixed yarn, which is this fuzzy yarn. You can however use any weight. It's just that you will need to make either more rounds or less rounds for each of your granny square, but I will explain that later on when we get to the granny square making. And I have 4 colors there. You can do as many colors as you want, but these are the 4 that I will be using. Then you will need 5mm hook, scissors, and needle. And to begin, you want to grab one of your colors, make a slip knot, which you can do by making this loop and grabbing either the tail or your working yarn through. Make that loop, put your hook in, and that's your slip knot. Now you can either start off by doing chain 4 or making magic circle straight away, but I would recommend doing chain 4 because you definitely know that that's not gonna untangle and kind of slip out, so it's a bit more secure. So go in and chain 4 like this. If you do want to do a magic ring, you grab your tail in front, wrap around 2 fingers, making an X like this. Put your hook through the first and grab the second one, pull it through, and chain 3 to begin, and you will be working your stitches into this ring. But again, I'm gonna do a chain 4 because it's gonna be way more secure than magic ring. I'm just gonna chain 4 again. I'm gonna go back into the first chain that I made, grab my yarn, pull it through, and do a slip stitch. And this is how I created a ring of the chain 4, and I will be working inside this. Chain 3, this will act as your first double crochet, and now inside this ring you want to do another 2 double crochets. So to do double, you want to yarn over, go in, pull up a loop and come back, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 double crochet done. Now again, yarn over, go inside the ring, pull up a loop and come back, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now with this chain 3, you have 3 double crochets, and the reason why we are doing chain 3 is to basically begin the round, because you can do double crochet straight on. It's basically made to go up to the length of double crochet, and it's only used at the beginning of the round. But once you've got your 3 double crochets, you want to chain 2, and again make 3 double crochets into this ring. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and chain 2. This is what you will repeat another 2 times. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2. So I'm just gonna do my next 3. Chain 2, and again one more time, 3 double crochets and chain 2. Once that's done, you want to find the top third chain, so 1, 2, and 3. Go through the 2 loops of that chain, which can be quite hard because usually they are pretty tight, but do your best and try to go through both loops. Pull up a loop and do a slip stitch. This is how the first round will look like. Then you want to chain 1, and if you are using different colors, cut it off and pull through. Now you want to grab your new color, or you can also continue in the same one if you want just a solid color, but basically I'm gonna change it, and you can change it into any of these chain 2 spaces, which are your corners. So I'm gonna go into this one where I just finished off. I'm gonna yarn my yarn around my hook and pull it through, drop the tail, and chain 3. This is again your first double crochet, and now into this space you want to make another 2 double crochets. So that's 3 with the chain, then chain 2 and another 3 double crochets into this same space. And this is what you will repeat in all of these chain 2 spaces. So we've got 1 complete and we left 3 to do. So double crochet 3, chain 2, double crochet 3 in all of these. So just to show you again, you go in and do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and again 3 double crochets. Now, as you can tell, we don't chain any amount in between those corners. We only chain in the middle of them. So when you do 3 double crochets, you will chain 2 and do another 3 double crochets to form a corner. Once you've got your second, go into the next, do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and again 3 double crochets. Then one last time, you want to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. This is what it will look. Now you want to find your third chain again, so just find the chain 1, 2, 3 and go in to do a slip stitch. Always try to go through the 2 loops, pull up a loop and do a slip stitch. Chain 1 to secure if you are finishing the color, and pull through. Now if you are using the same color, as you can see, you finish here and I am joining new color into these corners, and what you can do is basically make 2 slip stitches into these 2 double crochets and then do slip stitch into this chain 2 space to move your yarn into this space to begin the next round. I'm just gonna go in and change color. So I am attaching it as before by pulling through and then chaining 3. Then this is a corner space, so as always, 2 double crochets plus chain, it's going to be 3, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets. So I'm going to do my 2 to complete this cluster, then chain 2, and another 3 double crochets in that same space. And that's your first corner done. Now, until the next corner, there is this space, which is your side of the granny square. So you have 4 corners at all times, and this is your side. In the side, you only want to make 3 double crochets, no chains or anything. So just go in, do 3 double crochets, and you have reached your next corner. So in the next corner you will do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and in here you will do just 3 double crochets, and this is what you will repeat total 4 times. So 1, it's done, the second is going to take up this, then your third and fourth. Just to show you one more time, into the corner space you do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in that same space, and into the next space, which is your side, you do 3 double crochets. So that's 2 repeats done. Again, you turn your square, you see your corner, then you go ahead and do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and in this space 3 double crochets. And now for the very last time, do your corner and your side. So into the corner, it's always going to be 3 double crochets, then chain 2, 3 double crochets, and into the side, it's always 3 double crochets. To finish the round, you want to find the third chain. Go through the 2 loops, which might be hard to see, but pull up a loop and do a slip stitch. Chain 1 if you are going to finish off, and this is what it will look. So it's starting to form into a square, and you can see that we only doing a chains where the corners are. So you never chain in between the clusters, only where the corner is. And on the side of the granny square you do the cluster of 3, and as you can see with each round it grows to more spaces. So we had 1 cluster for round 3. For round 4 we will have 2 clusters in between these corners. So I'm not gonna finish this color, I just want to show you what you need to do when you come to an end and if you are using the same color. So basically you are going to do slip stitches into the next 2 double crochets and then do a slip stitch into this chain 2 space like this, and then you can chain 3 and begin doing your round like I am after I change the color. So I'm just gonna go back, I'm gonna chain 1 and finish this color off, pull it through, grab your new color and attach it into any of the corners, chain 3 and do your corner. So 2 double crochets because chain 3 counts as your first double, then chain 2 and another 3 double crochets inside. Now into the next 2 spaces you will do 3 double crochets in each until you reach your next corner space. So that's 3 done in the first one, again 3 double crochets into the next one, and you have reached your corner. So this is what you will repeat another 3 times. Your corner, 2 clusters of 3 double crochets, and then again another 2 times. So it's 4 times in total. But yeah, just to show you again, you go into your corner space with your corner stitches. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 doubles, chaining 2, and then another 3 double crochets. Into the next 2 spaces, 3 double crochets in each, so that's 3, and into the next one 3 double crochets, and second repeat is done. Again into the corner, 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles, then again 3 double crochets in the next 2 spaces, so 3 doubles in this one and 3 doubles in the next one as well. And for the very last time you want to do your corner, which is again 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 doubles, which you already probably know, and in the next 2 spaces 3 double crochets in each. As always, to finish off, you want to find the third chain. I'm just gonna go through one loop first and then go through the second, as I find this a bit easier. Then I'm gonna pull up a loop and do a slip stitch. Chain one, cut your color off if you are changing colors. Pull it through. And this is how it looks after doing 4 rounds. So this is where I will leave you. I'm not going to show any more rounds because it's pretty much the same thing all over again with more clusters in between the corners. But basically, you would join your color, do your corner, then you would have 3 clusters this time. So you had 2 and you will have 3. Then again, it's your corner, 3 clusters, corner, 3 clusters, and so on. So it's pretty simple when you do get a hang of it, but if you are a beginner, I will leave a tutorial on further rounds. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and make another 3 rounds until I have 7, because that's the granny square size I will be doing. And if you need to make more or less rounds, do that. But basically the vest is combined out of 4 squares for the back and front. So if you put 4 squares, 1 and 2 and then 2 for the bottom, that would be the width of your vest for your shoulder to shoulder, and this would be the length of your vest itself from shoulder down to the waist. So obviously it's a granny square, so these both sides measures to the same length, so your length from shoulder to shoulder and shoulder to waist would be exactly the same because it's going to be one big square. But again, the 2 granny squares should measure to enough length to fit you from one shoulder to another, if that makes any sense. I will put up a picture here just to show you what I mean. But yeah, make as many rounds as you need and I will meet you then. And when you do finish your granny square, whether you changed colors or not, you will have some tails. If you change your color, you will have more. If you didn't, you probably will have 2 tails only, but either way you will need to hide them. So I'm just gonna start with this center one and I will show you what I do with this one. So I put my yarn into my needle. It doesn't have to be like this one, use any needle you have and just basically go in under the stitches and weave it in. And I like to do this a couple of times, going in one direction and then going other way around as well, just to make sure that tail stays in there. Once you've hidden this one, you can move on to the next one, and basically it's a bit different because it's not the center but it's still going under the stitches, and you kind of want to make as many turns as you can. This what keeps the tail secure. If you only go one way, it might be that if you pull your work, it will come out. But yeah, do your best at going under the stitches and hiding those tails in. And I will see you then. Once you're done hiding the tails in, you will need to go ahead and make another 7 granny squares so that you have 8 in total. So do that and I will meet you on how to join them together. Now to assemble the granny squares, you first want to grab 2 of them, put them right sides in so that you have wrong sides on the outside. And we will be joining them with the slip stitches going into the back loop only. So if you look into your granny square like this, you should be able to see your stitches that have 2 loops. So this is your back loop in which you will be going, and for this one it's the front because it's wrong side up, but if you look from the front it's the back one. So don't get confused. And basically, when you are going into them, you are going into the outside loops, leaving the inside ones unjoined. So always into the outer loops. To start joining, you want to find the 2 chains you made and go into the one on the left, leaving the other one unjoined. Same for this one. So go into one loop of one chain that is on the left and through the other one on your granny square, grab your yarn, pull it through, chain 1, and from now on go into the back loops, pull up a loop and do a slip stitch. Always make sure that your stitches match up so that you are joining the same stitches like this. And repeat this till you get to your next corner. I hope this is visible enough. It's a bit fuzzy, so it might be difficult to see, but I'm going through one loop of this and another of the other granny square. And this is what I am repeating till the end. Don't make the slip stitches too tight because otherwise it will scrunch up your granny, so try to do them a bit looser than you would normally do. And I'm gonna finish doing those and I will meet you at the end. And when you do come to an end, you will have these 2 chains, so you only want to go into one of them and leave the other unjoined. Let me just go through that loop and into second granny square. Do your last slip stitch, chain 1 to finish off, and cut a bit of a tail, pull it through. Now you will need to hide the tails again. For the tails that I have when I do join the granny squares, I like to go into the seam that I created, and you want to go into your wrong side, which looks like this. It's a bit of a ridge basically, and from the right side it looks like this. So you see your front loops that kind of align together. So flip it on the wrong side, grab your needle, and I like to go into those slip stitches that I just made like this, going one way and then back the other as well. Like this. Repeat the same for your next one. And once you've got these 2 joined, you will need to repeat the same with the other 2. So leave it as this because these 2 will be our front pieces. And then join your other 4 granny squares into 4. So you can join the 2, again the 2, and then both together using the same method as I just showed. And then we will be doing the shoulder shaping. Now for the shoulder shaping, you want to grab one of the front pieces and decide on how long you want your shoulder to be. So I'm going to be doing 5 spaces, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this is how big it will be for my shoulder. You can do any size, but it's best to put the back side in front of you and see how much of the space your shoulder takes up. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do, and to start, you want to go into the space that you counted, so it's the 5th for me. I'm going to go in there, grab my gray yarn, the same I just used for this last round. Chain 3 and do 2 double crochets inside. Then into the next space, again 3 double crochets. Into the next one, 3 double crochets. And again. And now into the last one, 3 double crochets. And this is how big my shoulder piece will be. Turn your work, and after you chain into the space, do 3 double crochets. Into the next, again 3 double crochets. And next 3 more double crochets. And in this last one, 3 double crochets again. And just to finish, you want to find the chain 3 that you made, which is here, and do last double crochet through both loops of that 3rd chain. So put your hook in, pull up a loop, and do your double crochet like this. Now this is where I will chain 1 and stop. But if you would like to make more rows, for the 3rd row you will be doing double crochets into all of these spaces. And then again, for your 4th round, you will start by doing chain 3 and moving into the next space and finishing your row by doing the 1 double crochet in here. So basically, it's a 1 and 2 row repeat if you want any more rows. I will cut off, leaving a bit of a tail because I will need to use this for joining later on. And I will pull through. And I just finished my front left piece because the shoulder is on the left. You want to then grab another 2 granny square piece, which will be your right shoulder. And it's basically the same thing, but I will show you one more time. And now instead of joining your yarn into the whichever space you counted, you want to go into the corner on your right. So I'm just gonna pull through my yarn, chain 3, and I will be doing 3 double crochets in each 5 spaces, but for the first one it's 3 chains plus 2 double crochets. Now 3 double crochets in each. So it's exactly like the other shoulder we just did, it's just we joining yarn in here instead of the middle. At the end, chain 3, turn your work, and again do 3 double crochets in all of these spaces, which is 4 for the 2nd row. And then just 1 double crochet into the chain 3 you made. So as always, try to go through the both loops. And I will finish off again with a long tail for joining later. And once you've got your front pieces, shoulders, then you will need to do the same thing on the back piece. Basically, you're repeating the left shoulder as well as the right, which is exactly the same as I did for the front, so I already did mine. And then you will need to join all of these together. So grab one of the pieces you made for the front, put them right sides in, and using this tail, do a slip stitches into a back loop, which I'm going to show you one more time. So start off by going into the 3rd chain you made, back loop only. Go through the back loop of this double crochet here, grab the yarn, pull through a loop and chain 1 to secure. Now going into the back loops only, do slip stitches till the end. Again, don't make them too tight, try to keep them a bit looser, and repeat this till the end. At the end, pull it through after you chained 1, hide this tail in, and repeat the same with your other front panel by joining it together. Once that's done and you've got your front pieces attached, you will need to join these granny squares on the side. So you will leave this opening for your arms, and you will do the same thing on both sides using the same back loop slip stitch method. So do that, and I will meet you for the last part in which we will be doing the ties along the border. And now once it's all joined together, it doesn't fit in the shot, but here are my shoulders and the bottom. I'm just gonna turn it upside down, and I will begin from this corner crocheting all around. So I'll join my yarn here and I will be going all around until I come to this corner here. So I'm just going to join my yarn into this corner space, chain 1 to secure, do 1 single crochet in that same corner space, and then move on doing 1 single crochet for each double crochet. So just like that, do your single crochets until you complete all the 4 squares, and I will meet you in this corner here. When you do come across any of those seams, just make an extra single crochet in the middle of that, because it is quite a big space in between those 2 corners. So just do single crochet and then continue on to your next granny square as normal. And once again, I'll see you when I finish doing single crochets for all the 4 squares. Now when you come from here all the way to this corner, from here you will do 6 ties. So basically 2 at the bottom here, 2 in the middle of these 2 granny squares, and 2 at the very top. So basically we will be chaining, doing single crochets, then back into the doing single crochets along the side until we come to the next point. So I will be chaining 26 and I will have 25 single crochets, but if your yarn is thinner or thicker, you might need different amount of chains. Just make sure that tie basically ties into a bow. I still need to make a single crochet into this corner, so I'm doing that now, and I will chain 26. Now this is what it will look. It's pretty much the length of 1 granny square, if that helps at all. But yeah, it has to be long enough so you can actually tie it together. Now once you've got your chain, skip the very first chain here and go into the second one, doing single crochets. So again, I will have 25 of them. Once you're done doing the single crochets into your chain, you will come back and be going into the side of your vest to continue the border of single crochets, just like so. And you will do this until you come to the next point of your ties. So it not necessarily has to be here, but I just like that it's the middle and I want 3 ties. So I'm gonna do 1 here, as you can see, 1 in the middle and here, and this is what you will do. So continue single crocheting up until the middle here, where you will again chain the same amount you did, come back with single crochets, then again into the border, repeat the same tie again, and then you will single crochet all around the collar until this space here, which again will be your tie, and so on till the bottom here. So I hope this makes sense, but yeah, I will finish mine off and I will meet you then. And when you come to the first single crochet that you did, you want to go in, make a slip stitch, chain 1 to secure, cut your tail off and tighten it up. So that's right after when you did your last tie, and you should have 6 of them in total. And then you can just tie bows, but that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to hit subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you in my next one.